don't know what's taking long.
Hey.
Yay! We're live. Hi, Coach Leanne. How are you?
Hi, I'm fantastic. Thank you for inviting me to go live right now. This is
You
exciting.
are
I'm excited to be with you.
you are welcome. Thank you for saying yes, because this afternoon we'll be talking about discovering the power of your why. Why did you start the business? Why did you think it was the right time for you to venture into this new era that we are in right now? But before we get into it, let me introduce myself. For those who don't know me watching on my page, my name is Morai Edith Shavula. I just became a coach recently. Yeah, excited. And I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I've got 3 beautiful children. I'm a Christian, and my background is in human resources. So I've worked in the corporate world for quite a while, and I had nothing to show. And thank God for this online digital business that has given me opportunity to be at home and spend quality time with my beautiful family. And this is why we're going to be talking our why. And then now I will let Coach Leanne introduce herself. There you go, Coach.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Leanne, and I'm from Sydney, Australia. And my background's actually in pediatric nursing, but I have retired from that. Now, I haven't been nursing for the last, 12 years, I guess, purely because I took on the role as a full-time foster mum for a child with a brain injury. So I'm a grandmother, and I've got 3 older children of my own that have their own families, obviously, now. And my main role in my home is my digital business and a foster mum. Thank you so much for welcoming me today to be with you live. I've been running my business now for 7 years, and this whole concept of discovering the power of your why is so important. It underlines everything we do in our business.
Yeah. Amazing. Absolutely. In saying that, I've been running this business for the past 3 years, and I'm excited. And I thank God for the time I said yes to online digital business. So, Coach Leanne, I will ask you what I know you spoke briefly about your why, but if you can just shed a little bit more light about what is your why you decided to start the online digital business. And yes, I know working full time, there's a lot of things that happen. It's good to have a paycheck and working full time because it pays bills, but also it cannot also cut other things. Like we miss out in a quality time with our family. So what is your why?
I guess when I came into this business, I'm a little bit different to most people looking when they start this business. So at the time, I was looking for ideas for my daughter for when she was older. Having a full disability, her choices later on in life to create an income for herself, and then, also just I was really concerned about what was going to happen if the day that I'm not there for her. What did her future look like? And so I was in that mindset. I was looking for ideas, a business or something that we could generate at home that would take care of her, that would give her something to do, when she left high school, and also something for her future that I knew that wasn't just going to fall apart when I walked away. So I had that in the back of my mind when I stumbled across this business. But the main thing that it ticked for me was I can build this to a level where it is then willable to my family. So it actually has like a royalty system woven into the rewards of this business. So once you get to a level in your business and your business is thriving, it's ongoing rewards for the future, not just for now while we're building the business and, you know, the returns we're getting, but it's the future returns that I was really looking at. And I love the fact that I could build it and still enjoy the experience while I was building with that goal, the end goal in mind. So that really become my why. My daughter, definitely my foster daughter, is my why. However, that why has evolved over time. So it started with her in mind and her future in mind. But then what I discovered was I was actually getting so much more out of the whole experience. And so my why kind of developed over time. I think this is why I love the whole concept of discovering your why, because just because you start with a why, you may think, you know, like I came into the business with my foster daughter in mind. However, what I realized was there were so many areas in my life that I was lacking in, that I'd actually put myself on the back burner and thought, you know, okay, well, that's not for me anymore. This is my focus in life. And, you know, I've got to give up those dreams. But what I've experienced is that, no, that's not true. We can both have the life we desire.
Absolutely.
The lifestyle that we desire, and we both deserve it just as much as each other. And so that now has changed my desire, my why, to helping others to realize that as well, because it was like a complete discovery for me, I guess you could say. And because I've been able to travel, I've been able to meet friends all over the world. I don't feel as isolated as I did as a mum of a child with special needs. I had really isolated myself because I was so focused on what her needs are. This whole experience has just opened up the world for me. So now my strong why is, you know, what impact are we leaving for not only for my daughter, but for my other children, my grandchildren, my family, my community? What footprint am I leaving on this earth?
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. And you know, like I'm a Christian as well, and that's my background as well. And I always think, you know, you're not just born for average. There's a fantastic song Anna Matheson released, and it's about, you know, we're not born for average. We're actually born with a destiny and a calling upon our life, and we've got some unique aspects to our life, right?
Absolutely.
But life can sort of knock you around a little bit, or, you know, like put those borders up. And I just think, you know, this platform, this business, it's just a beautiful model that just encourages people with their unique self, and you know, helps you to get up in the morning. You know, if you've got a drive and a desire to live fully, then, you know, that's what we can do.
That's beautiful story and sharing. And I know that many people can resonate. And also me being a mom and also an immigrant mom, you know, and especially with my husband, came all the way from Malawi to Australia looking for greener pasture. And then when we came here in Australia, the reality hit, because, you know, when we were the other side, you think like life is all rosy. When I got there, I'm going to make a lot of money. It's going to be easy. I'll achieve my dreams in the blink of an eye. And then we arrived, right? We discovered that it's only you here, no helpers, no your relatives to help you with the children. That means we are working around the clock. The kids are in the daycare, and it's not even cheap. You know, we are spending so much. We are burning ourselves out in the name of providing for our family, our children, and also helping back home. So I reached the point that enough was enough. I needed a change. We needed a change in our lives. We're burning out. We had nothing to show. Our children would be like, Mom, let's play. Let's go to the park. Let's do this. Because then I was working 2 jobs trying to catch up with life, and the bills were not stopping. They kept on piling up. You got work, bills are still coming. I got exhausted. I was like, God, I need a way out. And being me, I started looking for opportunities a while ago. I started other businesses that they didn't even resonate with me, businesses that I had to to do sales. I need to knock on people's doors, begging family and friends. I didn't like that, but I had to do it just to supplement that income. And then I said, no, this is not the way out, because I was losing friends. I'm looking for something. I'm losing friends. People, when they see me, they're like, oh, she's going to sell me something. And that was not what I wanted. And I said, okay, I'll keep on working. I went back looking for a second job until this business came. I knew I needed a change. I needed quality time with my children. These kids are not getting younger. They are growing each day, and every milestone counts. So I needed a business that gives me that lifestyle, gives me the freedom. I didn't want to depend paycheck to paycheck. I've learned this in 2020, and it was an eye opener. I said, God, open my eyes. The opportunity that comes now, I'm going to embrace it, but let be the good opportunity, great opportunity, that it's not only for me, but also my children, my family gets to work with me, advancing together. One painful thing I heard my son saying was like, Mom, the way you are working, when I grow up, I'll make sure I'm going to have 3 jobs so that it's easier to support as well my family, and I'll be able to give you something. I was like, what? Really? That's not a life. That's when I realized that life has to change. And starting this business, it was an eye-opener. The business that, gave me the opportunity to drop one job, now working one job, and not only full-time but part-time, because I don't depend paycheck to paycheck. And not only that, the joy that I've seen in the business, helping other families achieving their goals. At first I started for myself. I need to give it to my children, but now seeing the joy that other families has when I'm helping them, they're starting the business, seeing their lives changing, that is now become, that why has grown. Now I'm like, come to this business and there is more way out, right? Recently, Coach Leanne, there was a video, one of the healthy care workers, I think he's in the US or UK, died, worked 3 days throughout without resting because he had bills. He was building a house back home. Guess what? Now he's gone. He was burnt out. He's not going to get to enjoy the house that he was building. Now we come here to share our why, to let you know that our viewers, there is a way out. If you haven't started watching online, starting your business, if you're just watching us from the sideline, now it's for you to take that first step to start your own digital business. The time is now. The beautiful part about online digital business, it's working 24/7. The disadvantage about paycheck, when you go to work 9 to 5, you are getting paid for 9 to 5. What happens to 5 to 6 a.m. or 7 a.m.? Nothing is coming up. That's when online digital business comes in. It works behind, the scenes. When you're sleeping, our shops are open. So our viewers, if you're watching us and you want to know about the business, please get in touch with us. If you're watching on my page, there's my website there. If you're watching on Coach Leanne's page, there's her website over there. Get in touch. Start watching with a webinar and then take a next step. Coach Leanne, do you have anything else to add?
I actually do, because you were talking about that gentleman who, he was working and working, and he was exhausted, and he died because he was just exhausted, right? The thing is, there are so many people that come into this business, and they may start already. They have got the heavy load, right? And I've seen this over 7 years. They come in. One gentleman, I'm thinking of Franco from the Philippines, living in Canada. He was an
Yes.
immigrant, but he slowly replaced his work, so that he went from 4 jobs down to 3, down 2, down to 1, and now he goes back and forward to the Philippines and Canada. But the thing is, we all have to start somewhere. If we don't do something different today, we're going to just have the same old result happening in our future. And I like to say that this is the life we are designing. What lifestyle are you designing? But you have to do something different today to get a different result for your future. So I know, and I'm just speaking to that person today, that you are exhausted. You are just thinking, there's got to be a better way. We can stand here very happily and say, yes, there is another way. It's not necessarily the only way, but there is another way that you can do something different today and start a digital business that will give you more options. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. You need to do something different today to get a different result tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And I think that those words actually resonated with me so much 7 years ago when I was looking for my daughter. And I can honestly say, oh my goodness, I am so glad I started, because it really has made an incredible difference. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. What a
Thank
joy.
Yeah.
What a joy to be here sharing our stories. And for those watching, and let me talk to my fellow Africans, immigrants, wherever you are. I know we've got that eager saying that we were taught to work hard.
Yeah.
It means burning out, you don't sleep, you go home, you only have 2 hours, 3 hours, and then to get the next shift. This is not the time. Please. It's a time to change. If nothing changes, nothing changes. The same thing that you're doing right now, if you're not going to take a step to change, you're going to be doing the same thing until next year. Take a look at our online digital business. We come here with our face, displaying our names, telling you that this business is not a scam. This business is real business. And we are real people. This is not AI talking to you. So get in touch with us, watch our free webinar, and we will be so happy to help you launch your own successful online digital business. So please don't be left out. We want to celebrate your success. We want to see you winning, and you need to change the trajectory of your story. The time is now. In saying that, thank you, Coach Leanne, for joining me this afternoon, and we'll see you again later. Thank you, all our viewers. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section, and we'll be happy to get back to you and answer all the questions. Until we see you again, thank you and goodbye.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.